Taylor Swift, the era-defining songstress whose every move sparks symphonies of speculation, graced The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, with her magnetic presence, turning a cozy studio chat into a masterclass in rumor wrangling. Fresh off the triumphant release of her latest opus, The Life of a Showgirl, and still basking in the afterglow of her August engagement to NFL heartthrob Travis Kelce, Taylor arrived ready to sift through the digital detritus that clings to her like glitter. Jimmy Fallon, ever the affable ringmaster, presented her with a curated carousel of online tall tales, 5 juicy nuggets of hearsay ranging from Super Bowl snubs to wedding toast jabs, and tasked her with the fun yet formidable duty of truth-telling. What unfolded was a delightful dissection, where Taylor's candor cut through the noise, revealing not just the falsehoods but the fascinating facets of her whirlwind life. The segment kicked off with Fallon's trademark mischief, as he rattled off the rumors like a grocery list of gossip. First up, the claim that Taylor had quipped about pal Selena Gomez, beating her to the altar, during a speech at Selena's recent wedding to Benny Blanco. Fans had spun this into a narrative of playful rivalry, imagining Taylor's words laced with envy amid the floral arches and champagne toasts. But Taylor, with a shake of her head and a warm smile, set the record straight. I did make a speech, but I actually made a point not to mention anything about my engagement. Instead, her toast wove nostalgic threads from their teenage friendship, zeroing in on the sartorial sins of 2008, the year they met, a vintage era of questionable fashion choices that now evokes fond eye rolls. I talked a little about 2008, how happy I am for her and how beautiful it's been getting to be a part of her life, but I did not make it about me. It was a heartfelt pivot, underscoring the depth of their bond, a sisterhood forged in the fires of young fame, where shared secrets and support trump any spotlight-stealing impulse. Next, Fallon lobbed the Super Bowl softball. Whispers that Taylor had rejected the halftime show gig because the NFL wouldn't grant her ownership of the footage, a diva demand straight out of music mogul mythos. No, she exclaimed, her denial as emphatic as a chorus hook. The truth, she elaborated, was far more grounded in loyalty than leverage. While Rock Nation's Jay-Z had indeed floated the idea to her team, Taylor's heart, and calendar, is tethered to Travis's season with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is nothing to do with Travis. He would love for me to do it. I'm just too locked in. That phrase, too locked in, encapsulates the beautiful bind of her current chapter. A woman whose love story intersects with gridiron glory, where game days become sacred rituals of sideline cheers and post-win embraces. It's a far cry from the solitary studio sessions of her past. Now her rhythms sync with touchdowns and tailgates, a harmonious blend of pop anthems and pigskin pursuits. The rumor mill churned on with tales of Ed Sheeran stumbling upon her engagement news via Instagram, a modern faux pas fit for a folkloric ballad. Here Taylor's verdict flipped the script, true but with a twist of tenderness. He doesn't have a phone, she revealed, painting a portrait of her collaborator as an analog soul adrift in a digital deluge. Ed, ever the guitar-strumming troubadour, prefers the poetry of presence over pixels, a quirk that endears him further in Taylor's eyes. Their friendship, spanning hits like Everything Has Changed, thrives on such quirks, late-night songwriting marathons minus the scroll. This admission humanizes the stratosphere of stardom, where even icons like Ed opt out of the endless feed, reminding us that connections deepen offline. Fallon then unearthed the enigma of a mystery dog sighting in Florida, fueling feverish fan theories of a secret pet or symbolic stray. Taylor's response? A gentle debunking, chalking it up to misidentification amid her peripatetic lifestyle. And finally, the harmonious hunch that Travis's voice ghosts through her new track Opalite, a vocal cameo whispered in the winds of wishful thinking. Only the Sheeran story was true, she concluded, her laughter a melody that harmonized the segment's highs and hums. In sifting fact from fiction, Taylor didn't just clarify, she celebrated the creative chaos of her world, where rumors bloom like wildflowers in the garden of public imagination. This Fallon appearance marked Taylor's second TV outing since The Life of a Showgirl dropped, a collection that pulses with the electric thrill of her romance with Travis. Announced on his New Heights podcast in a stroke of serendipitous timing, just before his garden proposal reveal, the album weaves tales of love's luminous glow from friendship bracelets to forever vows. He really crushed it in surprising me, she gushed elsewhere, rating the setup a perfect 10. The backyard transformation into a floral fantasia, complete with blackout drapes for podcast privacy, was peak Travis. Thoughtful, theatrical and utterly tailored to her dreams. Their wait of 2 weeks to share the news, your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married, allowed them to savor the sanctity before the spotlight. Fallon's teaser, a roulette spin landing on her lucky 13 amid showgirl-clad chaos, was a Easter egg extravaganza, nodding to tracks like Honey. Taylor's visit then wasn't mere promotion, it was a portal into her joy, where album arcs intersect with engagement arcs in a narrative as layered as her lyrics. The rumors she debunked reflect the double-edged sword of her visibility, adoration amplified by assumption, where a bare arm becomes a breakup signal, a Florida stroll a scandal seed. Yet, Taylor wields this with wisdom, her clarifications not combative but connective, inviting fans into the authenticity that fuels her art. Delving deeper, consider the Super Bowl saga's subtext. Taylor's locked-in stance speaks to a maturity beyond metrics. It's the choice of a partner prioritizing presence over performance, echoing themes in The Life of a Showgirl of love as a spotlight shared, not stolen. Her Selena speech, devoid of self-reference, mirrors this grace, a toast to another's dawn without eclipsing her own. Ed's phoneless purity? A reminder that true kinship defies devices, much like her bond with Travis, born from a bracelet exchange at Arrowhead Stadium. As the interview wrapped, Taylor's glow, fueled by album acclaim and altar anticipation, lit the room. Rumors, she implies, are but verses in her ever-unfolding songbook. Entertaining, ephemeral, ultimately eclipsed by truth. In clarifying on Fallon's stage, she doesn't just settle scores, she scripts the next chapter, one where love's harmony drowns out the discord.